And welcome to Talladega Superspeedway. A little bit different here. SRX. These cars had a series for a little bit, and then they were discontinued after, I think, about 2 years, possibly. There's a series on iRacing, but I don't think it's very popular, apparently. That's what these guys had said. Qualifying results. Don't know how these cars are going to run, to be honest with you. First is Paulo Aniceto, Steve Little, second, third, Blake Viking, fourth, Jeremy Root, fifth, DJ Kenner, sixth, Danny Barnes, seventh, Ryan Wart, eighth, Joshua Norton, ninth, Truth Hope, 10th, Mike Allen, 11th, Mike Fudge, 12th, wait, no, 11th, Barry Nelson, 12th, Mike Fudge, 13th, Blake Davis, 14th, Jonathan Stidham, 15th, Connor Lee, 16th, Andrew Teft, 17th, Timothy Eisbren, 19th, Kinsley Smith, and 19th, or 18th, Kinsley Smith, 19th is Luke Jardins. Yeah. Luck Jardins. That's how you say that. But I don't know how these cars are going to handle on their own. Apparently, you can hit 180 on your own at these tracks. So, if I had to guess, probably going to pick up some speed. Maybe around 190, possibly. Somewhere around there. We'll just have to find out what they do. I'll be joined here by Dakota, too.
Yeah, I need you to share your screen today, unfortunately, because I don't have the SRX.
Heck, I just had to buy it, so.
Yeah, I didn't realize I didn't have the card, and I spent my money earlier.
There you go. I'm not sure what to expect with these cars at this track, to be honest with you.
From what I've been reading, they're pretty sleek with the arrows, so I'm hoping they're going to be able to kind of be really tight and pushing most of the race.
Yeah, apparently they're hitting 180 on their own, so I don't know.
Faster than I thought they'd be, to be honest.
The pace car will pull in. Starter has a flag in his hand. And the green flag is in the air. We are underway here. Looks like everybody gets off and away.
It seems like they got pretty decent acceleration, too.
Yeah, they're already up to 170. That's not even in turn. That's not even off the corner yet. $184. Set to hit 190 coming off of turn 4. They are definitely a lot quicker than I thought they would be.
If I had to guess, it'd mainly be in the aero package they have. Kind of looks like an old Plymouth, in a sense.
Yeah, that does remind me of that now. But we do have some guys that have some front end damage already, so I wonder if these bumpers are not a good idea to bump draft with. I know that's 51. Get somebody off the start in front of him and got his bumper damaged a little bit. So they're maxing out. See if they get down the back stretch. They're at 190. 191, 192, 193. We got 194. That's what they're maxing out
faster
at.
than the trucks, I believe.
And now I wonder how their pushing is going to be heat wise, because I don't know how hot these cars will get.
That's a very good point.
Root has been all over the bumper of Paul right in front of him.
Yeah, but I can see him kind of poking his nose out there to get a little air, so maybe he is starting to get a little warm there.
Even one interesting thing that happened. I don't even know. Not really that much movement. We got some guys gaining 7 positions, but actually we got somebody up there's up 8. That's Kinsley. Everybody else is up front. They stayed the same. They're running 50-10s right now.
I will say that Donica paint scheme is absolutely perfect for these cars. At number 43 machine. Well, 79, 43, whichever number it is.
Looks like 43 for me. Looks like it. Keyword. Guys are 197 is what it looks like they've topped out at, and we got a 214, which is just a glitch. Nobody's hit 214 on the track actually.
So, you know, I did a little experiment a little while back. My buddy came out here and showed me how fast the older cars were here compared to some of the newer ones and stuff. And man, it's 20 miles an hour. It might not sound like a lot, but it is a lot, as they can do about 20 mile an hour faster than these cars are running right now by themselves almost.
And that's not surprising because those cars have a lot of power underneath the hood. Sadly, the cars today just don't have that. But I mean, they also have they're also a little bit quicker with a lot less power just because the aero stuff. This middle lane's trying to get something going. I kind of wonder if they're just stalled out and just can't get going anywhere, as we got somebody around that will collect 4.
That JX car barely making it through there. Is that the 55?
See who it is. Looks like it starts up here with the 92.
92.
Of Eisburn. He just gets hooked from behind if the 11 gets a little bit loose, and then kind of sends it on from there. Now the question is, how does damage work with these cars?
Yeah, it does look like, I mean, honestly, they didn't get that much damage from the looks of it, but looks could be deceiving. I've seen my car look, you know, less for wear and ended up having 9 minutes of damage, so. I will say also that the racing has been pretty good so far with these. I mean, they were still running side by side, kind of like a typical super speedway race.
87, he's a 67. He got some pretty good damage from it. I don't see much. Probably get most of his optional fix, and steering wheel is still straight. Of course, he's got left side damage too, because that's where he really got hit. I don't see that much, surprisingly, for what that would have been. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 drivers come down. Blake Davis is catching the field. He looks like he popped his faster car, I believe. The top 8 will stay out. Kind of split the field. Nelson's gonna sit in pit road, get most of his damage fixed. Like Allen, possibly full of fuel and tires. Did he get his patch repaired? No, he did not. I don't know if he needs to.
No, I'm also kind of curious now what the fuel load on these things look like as well.
I have to guess probably 40 laps, maybe.
Let's see. They are on 100% fuel capacity, so maybe.
The lights have gone off on the pace truck, so they'll go green this time by Follow route, literal, and bike in front for your first 2 rows. Pace car or pace truck getting ready to pull in here. We'll get the green flag. A little bit less than 10 laps into the race overall. 8 laps in of 75, 1 caution for 3 laps so far. Curious to see what that damage does to Eisbren, as looks like he's got his fast repair fixed already. Who was it that did? Probably didn't get their damage fixed. That wasn't that. Sorry. 67 of Mike Allen, but pace truck is in. Going to enter the Geico restart zone as the green flag is in the air. We are back underway.
Yeah, man, did you see that front row? They were door to door coming through the truck over, man.
I was a little bit confused by that. I saw him close. I was like, I don't know why you need to be this close, but I mean, you do you.
Hey, it worked out though, but the instant line got out to a phenomenal jump there pretty early into this run here as we're coming down, I believe, back stretch at the moment.
That was a little bit of contact back there. The 01s might get split here in a second.
Yeah, I bet you he might need to check his depends after that one. See, when we switched over to that, he was almost completely sideways there for a minute.
Yeah, he was asking to get turned. So they're spaced out a little bit, hitting at 190. Now I want to watch this 28 here. It's actually fudge. I want to see if he can catch up to this 43 in front. He's about 6 tenths behind. So this is when you lose the draft. I want to see if he's able to make up that gap. Now 3/10, so he's definitely making up that gap now. Also wonder if
Yeah,
it's
we
these
had
guys going
somebody
side by
went down to the
side.
apron.
Oh, that outside line's gonna start a huge run now. Hope getting a massive run. Decides
Yeah,
to duck
somebody got
in.
shuffled out of lane hard on that inside, sent down to the apron just a moment ago, and that caused a big old check up there.
Now it's gonna be interesting. Can this group catch this front pack? They're side by side. They've only got 2 in the bottom, but they've got 3 in the top. Well, really 4, but 3 are connected and together.
No. So far, what I've noticed, and I know we haven't seen a lot of racing yet, but it's like once you get side by side in these things, they're just kind of deadlocked on speed. It doesn't really seem like either lane is getting an advantage other than the fact that the inside lane is just the shortest way around the track. I believe someone in the chat said they can go about 43 laps around in there. Probably take a couple off the top if need be, and just said about 40, 41.
They give them 44. They had 3 caution laps so far. It's probably around 50 or not 50, 48 to 49. I had to guess. They're still running basically their fastest lap still. Not really that much slowdown at all.
I will say, speaking of what you were talking about with the overheating and all that, it doesn't really seem like these things overheat very much. It's, they kind of just been on the back of each other's bumpers the entire time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, it seems like second place is basically just glued. I mean, he's just bumper to bumper and just shove is basically what he's got to the point of doing. So, I mean, it must be working to a certain extent. And if you feel comfortable giving a push, I mean, go ahead and do it.
Oh, somebody about died on the inside line. Well, that's the 32 machine in that purple and black iRacing car there.
Well, we got a little bit of we got a good outside line going. That's Root in the Barbie car getting shoved by Kinsley, I believe, behind him. He's going to get him pretty far up there, too. A little bit of movement off that bumper, kind of swerving around just a little bit, seeing what he can get for a bite. $15 of 75 done. Looks like Allen looks like he got shuffled out or something. He's way on his own, but on his own he's still running 181, 10 miles per hour off. That Root's gonna shoot down to the bottom, take the lead for himself, see what he can do.
I don't think I got that outside line going. This side-by-side battle is actually relatively good here. It seems like everyone's feeling pretty stable in these cars. We're not really seeing a lot of wiggles.
No, not really. Only issue is that only thing I'd be worried about is the guys that hadn't pitted when they're gonna pit.
But they're only been about, what, you said 75 laps. They could probably get away with pitting around 30 something. They probably won't have to push it too far. So, I mean, they could place a strategy with a couple teammates of theirs or something. A couple buddies.
I'd probably want to be, honestly, I'd probably want to be one of these last cars in line. I wouldn't really want to be kind of sandwiched in between people just looking at how they run right now at the moment. I feel like they get a little bit happy with the bumper, and I wouldn't be too okay with that, just knowing how hard they can hit. It looks like, but it looks like they stay relatively stable whenever they do get a bump.
Honestly, probably the most stable thing I've seen here in a few weeks.
We'll go on board here for about 3 laps with a different driver. We'll go do cockpit view just so you can see what it looks like kind of when they're shuffled in the pack, leading and not leading here. So we'll go on mute, we'll go on cockpit view. That was some on board there of those guys leading the pack and also in the pack, kind of seeing how it looks just from their point of view. So pretty much right up on the bumper the whole entire time. We're going to be running up on some lap cars here soon. Here is One car, one lap down. That's Nelson. I've also wondered what engine the SRX used.
Yeah, something else I'm really curious about is just how they're not really having to let the car breathe and cool down either. It's just absolutely blowing my mind.
Car Racing Series. Limmer 396 cubic engine V8 tuned to approximately 700 horsepower. Currently use those engines in the ARCA cars. Did not know that. I was always curious what they use.
We got a couple of Connor Leach fans in the chat at the moment. Looks like we got a Let's Go Danny. And anyone but Cap Dorslim 51. There we go. We got a Let's Go Stephen Latrell.
So if you wanted to, you can. No, you gotta wait some laps. Think about fuel. See if they try to run it the whole way, their tank or not. But you can do either one.
Yeah, it kind of seems like with the lines stalled out the way they are, I mean, you get a good 3 or 4 cars, you're going to be going just as fast as you would in this big of a pack.
Just not sure what they want. What they want to do. They're gonna extend their fuel about 2 to 3 laps running in a line, but I don't know if that's all it's gonna be.
Starting to get. Oh, go ahead.
Once they get racing side by side, they still run 50 flats basically. And that's almost their best lap time, about 2/10 off for some of them. It's not like they're that far off.
Yeah, I was about to say. Honestly, I think things are starting to shake up a little bit here because we're starting to see a lot more movement out of these lines and stuff. So. A couple people maybe getting a little antsy, want to get a few positions before they decide to pit here, knowing that the fuel window is starting to get a little closer to time to pit.
Guessing they're probably not going to take tires. These cars probably act the same way as like Xfinity cars, next gens, and stuff like that. I don't have a feeling that they'll take tires. Probably just fuel only. It probably also takes a lot longer tires too. So I just don't think it'd be worth it.
Yeah, I'm also curious to see how fast they can actually fill these up, because I know a couple of these other cars that the fuel does take a pretty long time as well as the tires. Because, I mean, if it's going to take a while, you'd be able to take a little bit less fuel for the less time. It'd be a, even bigger game, but that's mainly in, like, the GT3s and stuff like that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, looking at the guys that came down last time, I don't know if they took this fuel only. We got 9 seconds, 11, 12, and we got 24, 19, 27. So I really don't know how long their fuel is supposed to take here, to be honest with you.
Outside line actually starting to make a little bit more movement towards the front here, as they're about up to that fourth car on the inside line at the moment. They are coming up on a lap car though, so let's see if they're able to get through here 3 wide. They should be as they're coming down the front stretch here.
That was one of the drivers that was involved in a wreck too, so it's not good for him. But it does look like basically that 27 has not moved off the bumper, that 01. He's just been glued to him the whole entire time.
Yeah, and honestly, I know I keep bringing it up. I just don't know how they haven't overheated, but I don't even think he's come off the bumper, but maybe half a second or less every once in a blue moon.
Yeah,
race,
I don't think they expected it to, be like this. So well, I don't think they ever expected, these cars to be ran at a track like this. That's kind of all they have for. That's all they have for it, really, at the moment.
That's a good point.
So they're getting closer to the fuel window. About 5 laps away. If we're going off of what was said in chat on their fuel, they'll be right at it. Probably want to get a little bit of insurance.
Oh, a little bit of issues on the outside. 24 getting really loose there.
Thornton's able to keep it up under and keep it going straight still. Hurts that outside line just a little bit. They lose a little bit of momentum, probably about 3 car lengths.
I mean, overall, everyone's pretty much still up here. 15 out of 19 drivers still up here. We got 1 DNF'd and 2 a lap down at the moment, so not too shabby, I would say. A lot of people still in contention have a chance to win here.
Question I got is how aggressive will they be getting down pit road? I don't know if they're going to go flying in there or if they're just going to go in there pretty slow.
Honestly, if I didn't have time to practice it, which I'm sure most of these people did, I'm probably going to be taking it easy, but I have no idea what the brakes on these things, like if they're really good, bad, or what.
I have a feeling that they're going to be pretty decent, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I just feel like these are kind of big and bulky that they just got bigger brakes than what people, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they can't weigh too much, I would imagine, either, so. Let's wait for the brakes to have to work with there. I mean, at this rate, it looks like Root, Latrell, and the 72 there in the middle, between them is just going to be top 3, because I don't think anyone's going to be able to get around them the way they're working together right now.
Yeah, I don't either. And they're just basically just glued to each other's bumper. Basically, just see if you can come get me.
Yeah, it just seems like they must have got around each other in practice and knew they could trust each other, because, I mean, they're definitely not letting anyone else or trying to work with anyone else at the moment. Let's see, look at YouTube chat. We got Connor Leach. Let's go. Awesome. Glad to see you in here, Mr. Mettler. Hope you're having a good day.
So maybe 2 laps in on coming down pit road. Oh, that's when the window will open.
And that outside line getting an absolute monstrous charge coming down the front stretch, and they just made up a lot of ground there, about side by side with third place on the inside. They might have a pretty good run out of the exit here coming out of 2, but looks like the second car in line is going to get loose a little bit, so that kind of hurt them, but seems they're able to make it back up.
That tells me that they're probably going to stay out because they're not lining up to try to get down to the bottom, so that gives it away. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, that 24 machine on the outside is having so much trouble pushing there. I'm starting to wonder if maybe the tires are starting to wear down, so it's making it a little harder to push on that outside lane.
Maybe for him. I'm not completely sure, to be honest with you. Highline again is just kind of stalled out. They're trying to get something going. Taft just hopped up there, but they're getting up there a little bit more. A little bit slowly. See if they can probably get 3 cars lined up. Wonder if you can kind of make a train after that. Shove all together.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, I didn't expect that, and they're smoking them, getting them in. Well, that answers the question.
We know that car sped.
Yeah, man, that's a black flag for Root. I mean, I'll give it to Root for getting all he could. I really didn't know what their brakes were like, but really, he locked him up pretty quickly.
I thought he was going through the grass.
Yeah, he was definitely headed for it, for sure.
Well, that is going to hurt that group just a little bit, as they're going to lose at least one driver out of that pack. So I believe it's going to put it down to a 4-car pack here.
See if Andrew and these guys come down pit road this time. Not yet. So they're going to stay out another lap. See if they can probably just push it, get a little bit of a gap for when they come on pit road.
Which is not a bad thing to do here, as they do have the numbers advantage right now, so they are going to be gaining a good amount of time on it. But a couple of people coming out of the pits might be able to latch onto the draft.
Yeah, Root's got a black that he has to serve. He was too fast entering. Down this
Money
time.
is always on Tift, unless I'm in the race, then it's still on Tift. Oh.
So Norton and Littrell still haven't hit, or Littrell still haven't hit. So they're going to be way off on their fuel because of that. They're probably open for a caution here.
Well, again, I believe they said they can go about 43 laps. We did have a caution early, so they might be able to go about 44, 45 here. So they probably still got another good 5 or 6 laps before they technically have to come down to pits. We'll say phenomenal job by these guys of, hold a steady line, so these pushes are going phenomenally. We're not having a lot of incidents here. The flat bumper on the back also helps quite a bit.
Yeah, they're still running 50 flats. Their best lap for 49.85. So their lap times haven't fallen off a lot either. Gotta keep that in mind. The group that came out behind them is running 51.35, so they're about a second off. Of course, they're a lap down. They'll get their lap back once these guys come down pit road. Whenever they come down pit road, that is.
I'm still going to be very curious here to see how much more of a, if they're going to gain anything on pits, having to take less fuel here.
Guys that came down pit road, lap 36, their pit times were 24 to 20, or 22 to 24. Actually, one of them was on 19. No, that was lap 7. 23 to 27 seconds on pit road.
All right.
That's their pit time.
What's going on, Mike?
Probably going to take them a little bit longer just to get that done.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Wow, that's kind of scared me a little bit.
Sorry, Bryce.
Doing all right. That's why I asked Mike how he was doing a moment ago.
Yeah, so I've been actually watching the broadcast over on Racers Elite, and race has been pretty tight and close for majority of this race, and I'm liking how they're just allowing the laps to wind down at the moment.
And they've definitely kind of just stalled overall, though. I mean, it looks like basically they can just keep bumpers glued. They don't even have to worry about temps at this point. So it's just kind of, this is almost basically drafting practice for really any car that you run in the NASCAR series. To be honest with you, they have not moved. I don't think overheating's an issue with them either.
Well, looks like we're gonna have 3, 4, 5 more takers.
All right, there's 2 people here in here that are not making it yet. Man, there goes one. I was gonna say
that's gonna be really close on that second one there, but I know the first one for sure got a black flag there.
Yeah, I knew Norton was not making it. He actually hasn't gotten a black yet, but there's no way he made it on pit road. Will he get a black? I don't see one yet, so that'll leave Teft, Smith, Hope, and Stidham in.
He might have somehow missed the pit entry line and didn't get one.
Yeah, I don't see the penalty yet. I don't know how in the world he wouldn't get one.
That's still gonna put him off pace with the other drivers.
That's not making it either.
Oh,
There's 2 people that aren't making it.
Possibly 3 there. Well, we'll say one thing: the racing's been absolutely phenomenal, but the pit is gonna need a little work if we run these again.
Looks like there's a caution out too for. Oh, I just saw it and I looked away from it. Who is that? That is Blake Davis.
And that is about to change a lot of things.
Oh, he gets on the apron and upsets the car. Corrects it again. Doesn't really get that much damage and kind of slides down the track. So we still need. So Davis has a black. Nobody else got a black. I have no idea how. I feel like there should have been like 40 black flags there for how hot those guys were coming down pit road.
Yeah, I know there's at least 2 or 3 that should have got one.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the brakes are just they're not that great trying to get these things slowed down from these high speeds.
You know, I kind of think the brake bias might be set a little too far forward. I bet you people didn't even think to move it back.
Yeah, that'd definitely be a possibility for sure. Looking at how hot some of those guys came in, really, really hot.
Yeah, and they keep locking up the front tires. I mean, well, I guess that'd happen regardless, even with the brake bias being back sometimes.
Now, if they have, to, if they, luckily they shouldn't have to do that again. They'll be able to back it up a lot more.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if the people that was on pit road whenever the caution came out, if they're going to be taking over the lead here. Because they should have been able to get out of pits before everyone got caught up to them there.
Actually, a very, good point there. So it's definitely gonna be very interesting to see if those guys, that just came down will get back up to that lead and take over the top spots.
For some reason, my SDK wanted to delete the browser, so we get that fixed.
Hey, it's SDK. I love using it, but it does have a few minor issues every now and again.
Yeah, it looks like for some reason it just wanted to completely stop working.
It looks
So
like that number 28 there is getting the wave around. Sorry, Dakota.
I believe that is Nelson in the 28.
Yeah.
They'll be good to the end now. We'll probably see some guys maybe come down for tires, maybe just go ahead and top off on fuel just so they can be extra safe. Don't have to worry about it at all because the fuel reading is not completely true when you're running in a line, but you get a little bit better fuel than what you really should, to be honest with you.
Well, we've already seen, 5 cars in a line all locked together. So, you think we'll see more than 5, or
I don't know.
will they come towards the end of this race? I mean,
I honestly wonder if you can form a third line. See if you can get everybody bumper to bumper. I think later on, like when last lap, I think we're going to see basically the whole track be used, just shoving each other as much as possible.
yeah, at least a good 3, possibly even 4 wide. I've seen a couple times. So, maybe not through the corner, maybe 4 wide coming down the front stretch or something. Be interesting to see where the runs prevail at. Like if it'd be better to be super high or down on the bottom, or
Our place. I don't know.
I think we should be good on fuel. Shouldn't need to pit again.
Yeah,
Like you
I
said
think they'll
earlier.
be fine now.
Should be good on tires. Super speedways don't typically kill you tires or anything on iRacing, so
Lights should go off here, and they will, so they'll get the green flag next time by.
Alrighty, guys. Well, I just want to jump up here and say hey, and I'm gonna go ahead and back out, and you guys do your thing.
alrighty, man. Have a good one.
At 47 of 75, someone's trying to find their spot in line. Evidently, they messed that up. I think they found it now. Biggest mover is currently Connor Leach. He's up 12 positions, roots back 13. He's the biggest loser in this race. We'll wait for them to go green here again.
Well, pace truck should be getting ready to pull off. I believe Truth Hook's going to be leading us back to the green, but Stidham on his outside here. And we're going to have to see if... Who is that? The 7 of Barnes was in the lead earlier in that pink machine there. No.
Talking about like the very bright pink one?
Yeah, the Barbie machine. I can't remember who that was.
I'm not sure, but green flag is back in the air. That's actually Root is who that is.
Oh, Root. We're going to see if Root can work his way back through this field and try to get back up towards the front here. He's been up front most of the race.
Got 28 laps to go, 28 laps to do it, as that's a gutsy move there from Stidham. Comes down in front of Hope after you get a really good start. So it looks like if you do get a good start, that does matter because you can come down in front of everybody.
I think we got about an 8 or 9 car breakaway here at the moment. But that second pack should theoretically be able to close in here once they work together.
And falls in line. That looks like that may be the 98. Yeah, that was not 98 of Tef.
Guess we're gonna test our 3-wide theory early here.
Yeah, this group, I'd honestly be more concerned about getting lined up and shoving, and we've got 2 of the same car.
Oh,
a little bit of contact there puts whoever that is in the wall up in that high line. This is not how you catch the pack in front of you, that's for sure. So they need to get this sorted out relatively quickly. They're not able to. This is going to make it really interesting.
yeah, especially with some of the moves they're making right now. This is starting to look more like some super speed racing than I know. We're starting to see a little bit more squiggles there on the bottom line and everything.
Let's see what they run. 17. Almost the same last lap from lap time, which was surprising with how much side-by-side racing they were doing. I think they're going to be able to maybe catch up to Taft. That's about less than a second and a half in front. They'll be caught just a little bit. Root's going to foil that plan. Got to slow these guys down, trying to get some track position. He's a lap down, though. Oh, there goes one of the 28s. Car tried to flip, gets back down on all fours.
And man, I don't even think he barely touched the wall there.
Yeah, it just looks like he just moves up a little bit, and whoever that is behind him basically has nowhere to go. And evidently, those brakes in these cars are not good because it took him forever to stop. That was a 24 Norton we got involved with there. I believe that'll bring them down to probably, what lap are they on right now? They are on lap 51 of 75, so it'll bring them to lap 55 of 75. I don't think we'll see anybody come down pit road for fuel or tires, but we'll go on mute here while these guys are under caution. as lights have gone off on the pace truck here. And you're ready to pull in a little bit less, or around 20 laps to go in this race. You've been pretty calm overall, not a lot of movement. And these guys, just a lot of shoving more than anything else. And again, enter the Geico restart zone, all jockeying for position. As the green flag is now in the air, we are underway here. 23 laps left.
Yeah, 23 laps, and it looks like both lines getting a pretty good restart there. Outside line actually holding pretty strong at the moment. We want people to go to chat. We got Let's Go Season 7. We got a Let's Go Mr. Barnes still in striking distance. I appreciate it, y'all, for taking time to watch this race today.
The biggest
Just
mover
about as fast as I said. Oh, go ahead.
Biggest mover now was Eisborn. He's up 15. Then we got 12 for Stidham, 13 for Leach.
But yeah, as I was saying a moment ago, just as fast as I said, there goes the outside line getting a restart. They all dropped to the bottom.
Yeah, I think they're thinking about going with Hoke. Hoke is going to get a little bit of help. See, that's the 6, I believe. That is the Stamp the 6. I think it's actually somebody else's race. We'll go up there to help him.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, even with just 2 cars up there, even when he's up there by himself, he's holding pretty strong on that outside line.
He's actually gaining a little bit, too. So I wonder if that second place car is not wanting to shove the leader, as he's actually going to tie for the lead right now at the moment. Ooh. Edge up just ahead and fall back just a little bit after that. Still moving around. Still trying to hold that position.
A lot of people deciding that, hey, that outside line's moving. Let me get up there.
Yeah, just see what they can do. They're not doing a bad job either. And that bottom line has now lost all the cars. They don't have much left. Hope's got that outside line going. Bottom line still trying to fight as much as they can. They've all hooked up on the bumper. Now we got a third line trying to form here. I think they realize, hey, we can just kind of go, just shove each other. As long as we can stay hooked together, we might have a shot. Third line's trying to get to the quarter panel of that car on the outside, just not working quite just yet.
Oh, we got one up in the wall. Luckily, able to keep it straight. But I mean, you know, it really just seems like we're stuck in rush hour traffic, and these cars at gridlock wants to get side by side.
Kenner just ran the fastest lap of the race, 49.69. Let's see, they'll probably stay tucked in with 10 to go. I think they'll make a big move, and that's when they'll fan out and start trying to make some positions up. To go. We'll go on board here with 3 laps with a random driver again. Now that these guys have gotten side by side with each other, you can see what it looks like in the pack. And these guys are a little bit later in the race, racing for position, a little bit more aggressive with the side draft. You see Hoke come down there and try to side draft and get a little bit of a run. It doesn't look like it's going to work too well for him. He'll just kind of just stall out, gain where or be back where he was. But we will go on board now. those guys. A little bit of a different view. You saw three lines try to form. Third one formed, then it broke down very, very quickly. Just decided, hey, it's just not worth it at the moment to try to get something going. So they bailed on that relatively quickly.
Honestly, with the way they've been racing today, I'm gonna say we're not gonna start seeing really huge moves until about 5 to go, probably even 3 to go. Honestly,
Yeah, that's probably right. To be honest with you, and they're coming to 13 to go. So I feel like you could go 3 wide if you wanted to. I mean, if you wanted to move it up this early, you could, but I don't know.
I think you could, but I think it's going to be the same situation that it is now. Once the third line does get up there, it's just going to stall out. And you're just going to be stuck 3 wide racing for several laps, and I don't think a lot of these guys really want to do that.
I'd honestly probably prefer to be like Andrew or one of these guys back here. Just when these guys do start racing, I think that they're going to be a little bit aggressive with their pushes. Now, we haven't saw any pushes go bad. I mean, they've been perfectly fine shoving each other. I just wonder when it gets later in the race to get a little bit more aggressive and they start shoving where they shouldn't. Just desperate moves after that.
Yeah, desperation times. There's definitely dangerous times. Especially whenever you've been side by side most of the race, and you're really seeing that you're not gaining anything.
Nelson just ran the fastest lap, 49.63. It's his last lap. That middle line stacking up a little bit. There may be a wreck here in a minute. Getting antsy around Hope.
Yes, Barnes and that 6 machine just... I really thought he was about to lose it there. Heck of a job to get that saved and keep going straight, but...
He was definitely weaving on that rear end. I thought it was going to be bad. It looks like he's able to keep it up under him, though.
And we started to see this, I believe, the last run right before we had a caution, where it seemed like the outside line was just getting a little loose, per se. A little squirrely.
Little bit of contact from that Nissan line. That was Smith who came up just a tad. Keeps it straight though, so basically no harm, no foul done at that point.
Yeah, but they're definitely putting them on the dash to get a little bit of side draft right at the moment. It's as close as they're getting.
So that's the STP car up there. Just put it in the wall a little bit. Didn't really hit it too hard. That outside line's falling apart though as they're coming to 9 to go. We're going to have to keep an eye on Leach. I think if Leach has an option to go to the outside, he's going to take it. He's going to have to take it if he wants to try to win this race. He just will not have he won't have any other option, really. He's going to get boxed in.
Got a Leach will win this race. 36 will get it. Well, we'll have to see how this plays out. I mean, it's been pretty hard for a couple of these drivers gaining the positions here. Both of these lines are just honestly really equal. it's going to be about who's going to make the least amount of mistakes on their line, honestly. But that outside line is starting to get a little bit of a momentum building up here as they're coming through 1 and 2.
49.57. That was Teth the last lap, kind of on a suck-up lap there. So Leach still isn't boxed in. If he wants to make a move up top, he can. He's got to decide it soon. Will he make that move, though, is the question now.
I don't know, though. I mean, P2 right now, and I've not really seen that outside line even be able to get up beside me completely yet. I don't know if I'd switch over.
High lines now started to form, coming to 6 to go. They need probably a little bit more help, though.
Well, with it being 6 to go, it's definitely going to be time to start tightening up our seatbelts and get ready for some more aggressive moves here, because it's about to be go time, all throttle, no brakes, no lifting for anybody here. So it looks like Kingsley Smith's going to shoot up that middle lane. Try to see if he can get something going on the outside, being pushed by the 55 of Truth Hogue. Like Osborne possibly looking to go up there, decides otherwise. And Kingsley Smith's getting a pretty good run coming down the backstretch here.
Whoa, look at that. That car is sideways. Whoever that is in the 28 was just sideways for basically half the corner. Somehow saves it, keeps it going. They got more guys on the apron.
Hey, are we starting to see maybe some tires get a little...
I don't know, but he was definitely sideways for sure through that cold corner. He basically drifted it. Now they have 5 to go. What does this second place car do? When do they move out? Because someone's going to move out. They're not going to stay in line like this forever.
You know, if I'm in second place here, I'm going to have to try to give the leader the old bait and switch, you know. Jerk it hard to the right. He comes up to block me and jerk it right back down to his inside.
Only thing I'd be worried about is, like, you got to get a big enough of a run. I don't know what you do or how you would even get a big enough of a run.
The only thing I could think for second place to do would be try to check up that inside line, but with there being 4 cars literally nose to bumper, it's going to be very hard to do. We should be working 4 to go at the moment. Looks like we got someone saying go now, it takes 3 laps to get a run. So someone up there, they're 3 wide back there for about 7th back. They were. Someone got into the wall pretty hard there though.
They did get that sorted out. Coming to 3 to go now. Guys, we got a caution on the track for 51 of Blake Viken. Ooh. That's a misjudgment there, possibly. Yeah, it looks like someone misjudged where they were on the track, and Viken goes around off the bumper. Just don't think anybody will come down pit. Well, actually, they might. They could come down pit road because of the fuel. It will be a green-white-checkered attempt.
I know something. Typically, if I'm in the back, like say if I'm Mr. Blake Veakin there in that 51 machine, I'm gonna go take 4 tires just because I can and top up on fuel. Just enough to make sure if we have multiple Green-White-Checkers, I'm gonna be 100% safe. But if I'm up here in the front, I mean it's a very big risk to pit. No one else pit behind you.
The guys
Ooh, we have a
almost,
little bit of contact.
I'm gonna say almost running over each other under caution, trying to get slowed down. Probably those brakes that they don't really have. Those brakes are not too good.
Well, with this being a Green-White-Checkered attempt, that outside line's really gonna have to try to get a good restart here, and hope and pray that everyone stays, side by side and up there instead of dropping down to the bottom instantly.
43, 44, 45, 36. Brute will have to come down pit road because he needs tires. Or no, sorry, not tires. He needs fuel, I think. Or no, he's gonna be really, really close. I think he'll go ahead and come down now. Stidham will be the leader here. So it looks like for him.
Be interested to see if Stidham tries to choose the outside here to get a good start and drop down to the inside in front of that 43 machine. Or 79 of Leach.
Vikings still down pit road after getting involved in that wreck. I think it's going to be on probably Eisburn here whenever he moves up, or whoever he decides to go with, if he can go with anybody, that is, who doesn't get boxed in. I think that's when it's going to really matter. The lights have gone off in the pace truck, so they will go green next time by.
For our first and hopefully final Green-White-Checkered attempt here. So Stidham is going to take the inside. Leach will be on the outside. Stidham going to be looking for a really good push for Eisburn here. And Luttrell's going to be looking to try to get all over the back bumper of the 79 machine at Leach here. I'm just very curious if this outside line's going to be able to get a good enough start or not for him to stay formed up here.
I'm going to look, probably that third row is when the move's going to be made. When that third row is made, third row makes a move, then it will be who goes with who after that.
Yeah. And we can't we can't forget last lap crashes here. So, I mean, someone could be all the way in 10th and avoid something and still come back to win it here. Nothing's off the table yet.
The 28 or the 32 or the 15. I'm going to pick those 3 cars to be the one that makes the move. Whatever they do will affect everything else from this point onwards.
Well, I do know Kinsley Smith does like to get up there in the third lane, and he is in the perfect spot to be doing it on the outside line in 6th place right now. So I could very well see that. It looks like Andrew Tett's going to be starting right behind him in 8th.
The pace truck has pulled in and enter the Geico restart zone. As the green flag is in the air, we are back underway.
Mm, 43 with the perfect hold, drop down right there behind Stidham in the lead. Sorry, 79 a leach there.
Eisburn's kind of just keeping an eye on everything else. Gonna go down the backstretch here. When they take the white flag, next flag will they'll finish the race. There is no cautions in iRacing that are thrown on the last lap. That is.
Man, and that outside line just absolutely disintegrated right after that start, so.
Who is going to be that third person who jumps up there and make a move?
Yep.
White flag is in the air one more time around.
Looking like unless the 79 Elite is going to back off Stidham here and try to get a run at it. I mean, I'm not really seeing anyone else going to be able to get a good enough run to get around him here.
I don't think they will, as they're going to go into 3 and 4 here. Who's going to make a move? They can't make a move. It's going to be Leach is going to have to try to hang out Stidham here to dry. He's got to make his move probably, honestly, right now. There he goes. Goes to the outside. Eisburn's not going to go with him. Going to try to side draft here to the end. They're going to go 3 wide. Who will be at the line? It will be, looks like Eisburn gets it.
Holy. That was a nail biter right there. Eisburn just found a hole to go into.
Eisburn, I mean, he barely beat him. SDK has it tied. That was close. Rewind.
The top 3 all within 3 thousandths of each other.
Rewind. Look at the start-finish line. For photo finish cam. I will get that picture perfect here in a minute. Right there is what it looks like. We'll back it up. Just
Jesus.
probably right there is basically the best view we've got. I've got motion blur enabled. Right here is what we have for a finish. So we'll leave it here. We'll bring in the top 3 drivers of the race. It's Leach, Stidham, and Eisburn. Let me make sure, just because I know their timing is going to be a little bit different results. So Eisburn did win by, looks like, 3 thousandths of a second. Let's bring in the third place driver and Connor Leach, if he is in one of them. I don't see him in one.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him either.
We'll bring in Stidham if he's in one. There he is, Jonathan Stidham, 42. Hey, Jonathan, this is Bryson, Dakota in the booth. Got a copy? Heard you there for a second.
Yes, sir. Hey, there you are.
Man,
Got you.
so you fall just a little bit short by 0.003 of a second there at the line. How did the race go from your point of view? Because it seemed like y'all were pretty stalemated the whole entire race. But that you all were able to shove heavily, though.
Yeah, you could push all the way around. You just could not get out of line. If you got out of line at all, that air just hit you and you were just stuck. So you could push. You could. I mean, Connor showed that. He pushed me. I don't know, 30 laps there at the end, right up on me the whole time. And hey, it was a good run though. It's fun. These cars at this is pretty good, pretty fun.
I was gonna say I never, seen these cars at super speedways. I mean, they're designed for short tracks. It seemed like they handled okay. How treacherous was it getting on pit road though? Because I saw a lot of guys blow the entry to pit road.
Yeah, these brakes are super stiff, so you lock them up super easy. Like going you can't downshift. First off, you downshift, you're just looping it around. I think that's what happened with Andrew and Kinsley right in front of me. You just had to be super careful. But back the cars are just they suck up so easy, but you just can't go nowhere once you get caught up. You're just stuck.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
interesting there at the end. That's for sure.
yeah.
Uh, so what was going through your head really coming off of 3 and 4 there, knowing that you had a chance, but a late move was going to be made there, really, really
Yeah, I
late.
was. Yeah, I was so worried about blocking Connor. I honestly didn't even see Tim. I left the bottom wide open. I just wanted to run Connor up, but not run him dirty. Just run him up to where I have a little bit of the inside, and Tim just made a great move on the inside. And they're so tight through the turns, like even the tri-oval, you're just stuck. You can't do anything with it. So as soon as you slide up, you're not pulling it back to the left. And good run by Tim. Good run by Connor. I want to thank him for pushing me the last like 20 laps because he easily could have just went around me. I feel like, but yeah.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
No, just thank you for doing what you're doing. Thanks for Andrew for putting it on, and thanks for everybody for watching. I know I had the YouTube up for a little while until it got down to the end, and I shut off all distractions. But yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good job coming home second tonight, man.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Like Leach did join the room, so we'll bring him in now. Hey, Connor, this is Bryson Dakota in the booth. Got a copy, man?
I think I do.
Man, so you come home third, fall just a little bit short. What was going through your head that last lap, though?
Uh, just I don't know. I was kind of stuck with the guy who was pushing it. Mixing up numbers here, but yeah, I was sort of just stuck pushing them, and we are getting to like 5 to go, and I'm like, I still got an opening, but it just takes so long to get a run going. I thought maybe I'll just try to get lucky and maybe or still have the opening, and maybe the second lane's just starting to push up, getting a little more aggressive, like towards the line, so I'd have someone behind me. And then caution came out, so that kind of threw that out the window. But luckily, I was able to get a good start, and then the winner of the race didn't have as good a start, so I was able to just jump in behind Jonathan again and keep pushing. And then yeah, once it got to the end, I mean, I got to try something. And yeah, I guess he said he sort of was trying to keep me up the track, and then it let Timothy just steal a win there on the bottom. But yeah, it was super fun. It took me a few laps. Like I was pushing Jonathan for like I was at the back for most of the race, and I thought I was in a good spot with the green flag stops because I had already put fuel in, and I knew if I just did fuel only and take so long to put fuel in, I could get out ahead of a lot of people, which I did. But then the caution came out. Yeah, like I said, I was pushing Jonathan for I don't know the first like 15 laps I was pushing him. I'd lift off in the corner entry and then get back to him on exit, and then started pushing a little harder and harder and harder, and eventually I was like, holy crap, you can just full throttle, and as long as you stay in line with something that doesn't really get him too out of shape. So I was doing that for the longest time, and you're definitely up on the wheel when you're pushing that hard, but it is fun. It's kind of nice, not being too worried about just one little wiggle and wrecking the entire field. I kind of got a little bit of confidence in it later on.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to watch these cars at track that they're not meant to be at. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Shout out to you guys for putting on the show, and then obviously Racers Elite's a huge group of guys. There's races going on all the time, and yeah, I've been able to jump into a lot of these ones, especially on weekends when I'm not working. So it's been fun. Yeah, just shout out to all the guys for putting the races on, and Andrew especially for all the work he does. He's crazy.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good job coming home third tonight, man.
Thank you.
Connor Leach, the third place driver. We're bringing in the first place driver, Timothy Eisbren. Hey, Timothy, this is Bryson, the code in the booth. Got a copy, man?
Yeah, man.
Man, so you win by 0.003 of a second at the line. What was going through your head that last lap?
Couldn't believe, I was happy just for coming in third, but Connor went to the outside, slowed up the leader. They went up high, and I went down low and was able to get around them. I mean, that was close.
Yeah, I did not expect them to move out like they did. That was kind of interesting to see. Um, I thought you were going to go with Connor when he moved up, but you just stayed on the bottom there. So just how was the race from your point of view, though, overall?
Well, had that caution, and me and Barry Nelson was in the back behind a damaged car. By the time we got around him, we lost the draft, and I was pushing Barry really hard. He lost control, and he wrecked, and I already apologized to him. And but the last caution really saved us. And I'm like, the pace truck just came out here in front of me. Am I supposed to pass the pace truck? Everybody says you're the leader. I'm like, oh man, I couldn't believe it. So I did manage to get back with the pack, get my pit stop done, and came out seventh. And couple good moves, towards the end. And on that last restart, I thought I was going to come in third. I mean, Connor just had the hole come down there in between me and Jonathan, and he made it. And so we just trying to go for it there at the very end. And man, I can't believe it. I can't believe I beat these guys finally.
Yeah, man,
It was a really good race. Had a lot of fun doing it.
I didn't know who was going to get it there at the end. Once I saw him move up, I was like, I have no idea who's going to get this position. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, Shaco is that sponsors me during the week. Didn't have enough time to get him on the card today, but appreciate everything they do for us and come around, hang out with me.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good job coming on with the win tonight, man.
Yeah, the TBA Racing, E. Brett and Alan, appreciate everything they do. They pretty well rock solid behind all of us. We're right behind everybody here. So appreciate everybody, coming out. Appreciate Andrew doing the Racer Elite, for something to come out and race and have some fun.
And I will let
But
you go.
all right, appreciate it.
Timothy Eisbren, the race winner. Eisbren first, Stidham second, Leach third, Kinsley fourth, and fifth was Andrew Tiff. Now, how was that race from your point of view, Dakota? Because it seemed like a lot of it was just, it was definitely stalled out, but there was a lot of bumper to bumper pushing there.
Yeah, I will say, like, there's really good potential with these cars, but I think it's going to involve a custom set because you can't get the run and keep it enough to actually make any kind of moves or anything. It's kind of gridlocked.
Yeah, there may need to be a pretty big gear changing with these cars because they were only running 7,200 RPM, which is definitely pretty low, it looked like, in the gear, and I think they had a lot more left, but they still were hitting 191 on their own, so that was pretty good for them. But I'm not going to keep y'all here any longer. I will let you all go.